Hey everyone, Ark Invest back with another video for you today. So a lot of you are requesting a video about Teladoc, so here it is. In this video I'm going to cover obviously their merger with Livongo. In short, we're going to look at the graphs, a couple of things of their recent earnings report, and obviously why Ark Invest has it in 3 of their ETFs, and in all 3 they are in their top 10 holdings. We're also going to discuss the growth potential of this company. Is it a potential 10x? What's going to happen after the pandemic is over? We're going to discuss all of that in this video. But before I do so, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And if you like these videos, leave it an early thumbs up, as it really helps me out grow the channel and get my videos out there. So without further ado, let's look at the charts. Alright, so looking at the charts right now, we can see a couple of things. First of all, we have big support at 180. We can see that here in August, in September, end of October, and all of November. We can see here this gap on the way down because of the vaccine news. People thought that work from home, telemedicine is suddenly going to disappear. People would go back to being and using inconvenient things than convenient stuff. Basically, it's BS. So I would expect the stock to go back over that. And we can see here big resistance at 230. Only once did the stock stay above that for a couple of days. So obviously watch out for that. Right now we're at that magical $200 number. So if it were to go back over the 230, that would mean a 15% increase. I would expect that to happen in the next coming weeks, if not before the end of the year. Right, so for the earnings report, pretty good. So year over year, Q3 earnings grew 109% to $288 million. Total visits increased 206% to 2.8 million, which was actually up 206% year over year. Now the $288 million in revenue is actually 82% from subscription and 90% plus from retention. Now year over year, 9 months revenue grew 79% to $710.6 million, and total visits increased 163% to 7.6 million. Now they also issued 2020 fourth quarter guidance and raised full year expectations. So we're going to look at that. But before, just a quick extra, the membership and visit fee only access. So total US paid membership actually grew 47% from 35 to 51.5 million, right? So for the fourth quarter of 2020, they expect revenue to be in the range of $294 to $304 million. So it's basically higher than what it was in Q3. Total US paid membership to be in the range of 50 to 51 million, basically the same as we've seen right now. And total visits to be between 2.8 and 3 million, so a bit higher than what we've seen in Q3. Now for the full year 2020, they expect revenue to be over $1 billion. And the same thing here with the US paid memberships to be in the range of 50 to 51 million. And total visits should be between 10.4 and 10.6 million. All right, so let's first start with the basics. What is Teladoc and what is Livongo and what do they do? Why did they merge actually together? Basically, Teladoc is this telemedicine company. You want to book a visit, you want to visit your doctor because you're not feeling well. Usually what you had to do, and there's actually a Harvard study that says it, the average medical visit takes 121 minutes. And during that time, you actually lose $43 worth of your time. Obviously, that study was done in 2015. So maybe right now the numbers may be a bit different, but the actual points remains the same. Usually, if you need to visit a doctor, you have to take maybe half a day off of work. And that's super annoying. You have to wait a long time to see your doctor for something that can be done over the phone in just a matter of minutes. So here's where Teladoc comes in. You book a visit through your phone, whether you're sick, you're not feeling well, maybe you have some back pains, whatever, doesn't matter. They will find a doctor obviously in your state because there's a lot of regulatory matter regarding this whole telemedicine practice. Then you get your appointment. You also link it to your pharmacy. If you have insurance, you link it to that as well. And everything is done, and then they find an appointment for you when you are available. And obviously it doesn't take 121 minutes. It will probably take up to 10 to 20 minutes max. And then let's say the doctor or physician decides that you need some prescribed medicine. He can prescribe that and send it directly to your nearest pharmacy. No need for paper or whatever. You just go to the pharmacy, they got the message, you get your medicine, and that's it. And now here comes Livongo, which is one step further and actually one step after your visit to the doctor. Is basically they will be sending you signals and monitoring some of your chronic diseases that you have at home. So whether it's diabetes or some other chronic diseases, let's say you have an elevated heart rate. So they will send you a signal saying, oh, maybe you should lie down, maybe you should relax or whatever, you should drink more water, etc. Why is this super important? Well, if let's say you suddenly do not feel well at all, you can book a virtual visit as well. And that physician, doctor, will get already all the information needed to evaluate your situation. In my opinion, that doesn't stop there. I think with artificial intelligence, they can go even one step further. If they see you're not moving that much, maybe you're not sleeping well, etc., they can already predict what is going to happen. Maybe you're having back pain, maybe, I don't know, something else, you're depressed, whatever. So they can already predict that, send you signals, maybe send a signal to one of your doctors, physicians. You can also use it for mental health. So there will be somebody ready to talk to you. You don't have to wait 2 weeks for an appointment. You don't have to wait 121 minutes to actually see a doctor. Everything will be happening and is already been happening automatically. Now, to put all of this into perspective, let's look at a couple of numbers. So basically the global smart healthcare market size was valued at $143.6 billion in 2019 and is projected to grow at a compound annual rate of 16.2% from 2020 to 2027, which will be around about $425 billion. Now, what does that entail? This market is basically what Livongo and Teladoc are doing. It's also this RFID Kanban system, and it's everything from smartwatches and everything that monitors your health, your phone, smartwatch, and any other smart devices. Now, the global telemedicine market was estimated at around about $41.4 billion in 2019 and is expected to witness a compound annual growth rate of 15.1%, which would result in $120 billion in 2027. And to be even more specific, the US telehealth market size is valued at around $9.5 billion in 2020, a tremendous growth of 80% over 2019, and is expected to exhibit a compound annual growth rate of 29% during the next 5 years to $35 billion. Now, to add a bit more context, all of that market entails also hardware, which we can see here, and obviously the services, the network effect, and everything else around that. Now, to be a bit more specific, it's not just this virtual visit that is going to be worth $35 billion. It's everything around that as well. So the hardware that will be sold, everything that will be monitoring your heart rate, your other chronic diseases, maybe the insurance part of this whole ecosystem, and obviously telehospitals also will be taken into consideration. Now, there are also some rumors going around that TalkSpace is maybe willing to sell their company at a valuation at around about $1 billion. Now, what are they actually doing? Basically, they're an online therapy platform. So TalkSpace users have access to licensed therapists through the website or mobile app on iOS or Android. And obviously, when the news came out that they're willing to sell for only $1 billion, company like Teladoc and Amwell could be potential buyers. Now let's go and look at those ARK ETFs. So first up, we have ARKK, where Teladoc is number 6 at a 4.24% of their portfolio, worth just over $500 million. Then we have ARKW, which I was a bit surprised to see it at number 4, 3.6% of the portfolio, market value of $133 million. And last one is obviously the ARK Genomic ETF, where Teladoc is again at number 6, weight 4.26%, market value of just over $155 million. Right, so to conclude, first of all, I know a lot of you will be asking this question, so here's the answer already. Will this still continue to grow after the pandemic? Yes, it will still continue to grow. The pandemic just accelerated that growth. I think a lot of people would prefer to stay at home or not take days off of work for a consultation that should be taking 5 to 10 minutes instead of taking up to 2 hours like we've seen. So yes, I expect this market to grow even further. I expect Teladoc to become even bigger than it is today. To add a bit to that topic, we've seen this week that Amazon jumped into the pharmacy business with online prescription fulfillment. Actually, the CEO of Teladoc said that Amazon is using Teladoc for their employees. So who knows, maybe a partnership could be happening with Amazon later in the future. But again, I think telemedicine, this whole smart health industry is going to be huge and is only going to get bigger and bigger. The health industry is ripe for disruption. I think it's a market that should have been disrupted already a couple of years ago, but now with the pandemic, it actually accelerated that growth, and we will see an accelerated growth and adoption in the next coming years as well. Obviously, there's a lot of competition in that market, but since that market is so big, I think there's opportunity for a lot of them. Obviously, the big companies will be bigger and bigger with the years to come. Maybe some will be acquired, maybe some will fail, who knows, but I'm pretty sure that Teladoc will be here in the next 10 years. And that will be it for this video. If you liked it, consider leaving a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, leave it down in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always guys, take care, stay safe, and see you all in the next video. Bye bye.